Welcome to course 3 on conferencing, and it's part of module 2 called brand building. This particular video training, it's all about having the right attitude, and it's actually titled attitude. And so when you're at a conference, what type of attitude is required? What type of attitude do you need to have? Why should you even be focusing on a particular type of attitude? How does attitude impact you being at a conference? You are just there to get CPD points. Absolutely wrong. You are there to build a brand. So remember, the reason why you're listening and watching this video training is how does the different components of conferencing play a role in helping you build a brand. The other video training on this section on conferencing was specifically talking about networking. The other component was making reference to your unique selling point. And so this one, it's all about attitude and the impact that it can actually have in establishing yourself or building a brand that is important for you. And so one of the things that you have to have when it comes to attitude is that it needs to be inviting, it needs to be engaging. Even if you're an introvert, believe it or not, I'm also an introvert, but people say I'm lying when I'm telling them that I'm actually an introvert. Then they will say to me, I'm an extroverted introvert. I don't know what that means, but I think that the right term is an ambivert, where you've got a bit of both. But nonetheless, whatever type of personality that you may be, if you're an introvert, communicate from the strengths of your introvertedness. If you're an extrovert, communicate from the strengths of your extrovertedness. And if you're an ambivert, which has a bit of both, communicate from the strengths of it. But most importantly, make sure that your attitude is very inviting and engaging. Secondly, it has to be extremely positive. Extremely positive. In building a brand, when you're at conferences, keep the negativity to yourself. Keep your opinions about all the things that go wrong, about the environment, the conference, all of that to yourself. It's all about energy that you want to be having and keeping around yourself. And so the conference will have a platform or something that you can complete pertaining to your views and opinions pertaining to the conference or anything involving what did not go right or what went right. But make sure that from an attitude point of view, you have a positive attitude all the time. And part of having a positive attitude is you complimenting people. You telling them something positive. You highlighting something positive about them. It's like inviting you. You're so excited to be meeting people. You're so excited to be learning what you're going to be learning. And so you have to have that willingness to know more and find the answer. So when you need to ask the questions, ask the questions. When you don't know, ask the questions. When you just want to know more, be attentive when you're talking to people that you're engaging with, that you are connecting with. Be attentive. Don't just have meaningless conversations with people. Be present in the conversations. It's very, very important because everyone is at a conference for different things. But people with the right attitude at a conference stand out. And I'm not talking about standing out as in everyone can see them. I'm talking about they stand out in people's memories and experiences about the conference. So when you're talking in amongst a group of people, let them know that you're acknowledging what they're talking about. Let them know that you're hearing them. You are engaged. You are there. Have the right attitude. Even when you are disagreeing with people in the midst of discussions and conversations that you might have, be engaged and have the right positive attitude. Get to know more about people. Get to know as much as you possibly can about whatever that brought you to the conference. And make other people feel and think better about themselves. When people are around you, they need to be getting a positive energy. Be thinking differently, be feeling differently. You need to be a light in that environment that you are in. You need to be what is different about that conversation. You need to be sharing things that bring out the best out of people, that cause people to think differently, be differently, that challenge people, that challenge the status quo, that create debate, that expand further on viewpoints. You have to be that catalyst, irrespective of the type of personality that you are having. You will only be doing what I'm saying if your objective is to build a brand. Part of building a brand is that it creates opportunities for you to come or be top of mind when someone thinks of something pertaining to what you do. And that results in a potential referral. That results in you being identified as a key opinion leader or thought leader in a particular subject matter. So if you have no interest in building or establishing a brand for yourself, then what I'm saying is completely irrelevant for you. But as you have taken cognizance of this particular module, it's all about brand building. And so everything that we are talking about speaks directly into how do you go about building a brand. And so attitude is critical for you to have the right type of attitude. Don't always answer for the sake of answering. Don't always just be holding on to your viewpoint or your opinion in discussions and not be listening to hear what other people's viewpoints and discussions, or be willing to hear alternate ways to what you perceiving things to be. And so speak less, listen twice as much as you speak, but make sure that when you speak, you are speaking value, you are speaking solutions, you are speaking something that is adding to the conversation, not something that is taking away from the conversation. And when you are engaging with people, acknowledge that I hear your viewpoint. Very interesting. I agree with you on this. And just to add on to what you are saying, this is what my viewpoint is. But I like this debate because it's creating that opportunity for me to learn more than what I thought I did. Even though you are disagreeing with that person, but how you structured the conversation or your viewpoint makes the difference to that other person. Also learning how to communicate, learning how to debate, learning how to disagree, learning how to agree. And so you are the catalyst in or at a conference when you are having the right attitude. Attitude, which when it's right, when it's on display, people connect and remember attitude more than anything else, because it's your attitude that they get to connect with. How they approach you, how they engage you, how they connect with you will be as a result of the type of attitude that you have. And the right attitude will result in you being memorable to them, which is very, very important. And so be genuine, be authentic, and be real when you are at conferences. And in you displaying your attitude, make sure that those are qualities that you are not passive, but you are an active participant in whatever that is going on at the conference. You are involved, you are engaged, and you are there to make a statement. You are there to make a difference. You are there to be a lasting memory of people that are there, so that whatever brand that you are trying to establish or build or get people to know, they will remember you for it, simply because of the type of attitude that you would have at that particular event or conference. And it's always that thing of first impressions last. Very, very important. What is the first impression that people get to connect with when they engage you, when they encounter you? What impression do they get? And so very, very important that you stand out when it comes to the type of attitude that you have.